How are we getting on, folks? Look at not too bad of a day considering it was Road, but in terms of overall tipping, it was pretty dismal to say the least. I said at the start of the video, I suppose last night, Road either goes very good or very bad. Um, as soon as Crassus fell two from home when travelling very comfortably, I thought that was just the day that was in it, but we somehow managed to pull it back. I know Arthur's baby was another unfortunate faller as well. Um, but a nice winner with Keen Kyle. I think he drifted out to 10-3 or something along them lines. As well as that, we had a lovely each way, another drifter with all the chimneys who put up a very, very good effort. Just, I suppose, a good training performance by Mick Winters with Chatham Street Lad. But overall, I was fairly happy with, I suppose, how things played out. People that had know and who have been following the page would know that I'd be lucky to even get close to a place, never mind a winner around Ballinrobe, but we managed to get a winner and a place and bought at fairly nice prices. So we're going to go into Cork now tomorrow with a bit of confidence. I personally am quietly confident. If I suppose could get a 50% strike rate between each way bets and uh, win, I suppose, horses now tomorrow, I think I'd be doing pretty good. I think it's well within our range. I think there's some good opportunities to make some nice profit tomorrow, and there's definitely some great racing on the cards. First race off is the 135. We're going to do something that hopefully, I'm tipping up something that hopefully will be doing a little bit better than the namesake tomorrow, but it's going to be break even at 13-8. Personally, for me, it looks to be his race to lose. Coming from the Tom Mullins yard is definitely a good source. David Mullins rides as well, and a fairly decent jockey in pretty decent form. Break even was a very good pointer and turned out to be a pretty decent bumper horse as well. I think he looks definitely much so made for, I suppose, jumps being put in front of him. As you can see from his point record, is especially over the last year, has been second to none. There's absolutely nothing that has stood in his way in terms of point to pointing. Overall, it looks to be a pretty easy enough race for him over hurdles. It doesn't look to be, I suppose, out of his range as such. Coming from the Mullins yard, you'd sort of expect it to be well schooled, and yeah, it should be very, very hard to beat, in my personal opinion. I think 13-8 is a very generous price for it. We missed I suppose, the opening price of 15-8, but yeah, I think 13-8 is definitely something that's well worth getting behind, and I definitely think it's going to be a fairly decent winner now tomorrow. The 207 second race off now tomorrow. We're going to, I suppose, go take a little bit of a chance here now. We're going to go with Streets of Diane for the John McConnell team. Really and truly, this horse looks to be the one they all have to beat. I've been a big fan of West Cork Wildway and the likes of the Paul O'Flynn runners that have, say, run over the past couple of weeks as well. He's in brilliant form, but I think the ground is just going to go against West Cork Wildway tomorrow, and the fact that he has to give way to, I think, most of his rivals, if not all of them, is definitely more of a hindrance than a help at the end of the day. I think there's better horses in the field that are better weighted. Instep Streets of Diane, all you have to do is look at his form on good ground. There's a string of ones, I think there's a couple of twos, and there's a few threes. I don't think he's rarely been out of the top three in this sort of company, say, in good ground. Cork will suit his style of running. Like he's definitely the sort that will, I suppose, appreciate the way Cork is laid out. Overall, I definitely think the fact that he is, I think getting £6 from West Cork Wildway and a few of his rivals here, it definitely means that this horse is way to win at the end of the day. I can't think who was on board. I'm trying to think. John McConnell. It could be Ben Harvey, possibly. I don't know, but um, if it's a claimer, there, well, all the better. Really, at the end of the day, if there's a claimer on board, there's more weight taken off his back, which would mean he's very much well in. And yeah, I'd be expecting this horse to go and win here now tomorrow. And 9-4 is a very, very nice price. Next race off then is the 242, the next best of the day. We're going to go with What's Your Status at 11-4. Really and truly, this one looks to have this race in the bag, in my personal opinion. He was a very good second behind aforementioned, who has since gone on to win the Kerry National, or the Munster National. It was a very, very good second that day in behind him in Clonmel. Turning in, he actually took the lead. Just, I suppose, a little bit of a peck on Landon cost him the win, but when you look at the form, he stands out a country mile. There doesn't really seem to be anything in among the, I suppose, the bushes that would indicate that there's a future Munster National horse in the field here now, and 11-4, in my personal opinion, looks to be a bit of an insult. I think this horse should go off, I'd say, anywhere between 9-4 and even money at the end of the day. I think he's going to go off a fairly sharp price favourite tomorrow. He's definitely deserving of the favourites tag, and I think 11-4 is great odds for a horse that has, I suppose, run some very, very credible races, and coming from the Garage O'Loughlin yard, you're almost guaranteed that this horse is going to be very well schooled. The 317, we're going to take an each way shout here now. We're going to go with Smith's Corner, currently trading at 5-1. Bet365, I think they're paying 3 places a fifth of the odds. Overall, when you look at his form, he's a much better chaser than he is a hurdler, and his mark would suggest that as well. The fact that he's racing off a mark £14 lower than he would chasing. So what it means by this is, say if he was racing in a chase race tomorrow, it'd mean that the jockey would have to be a stone heavier at the end of the day in a handicap chase. Really and truly, yeah, he definitely is a better chaser, and he definitely looks to be more suited to chasing. But the fact that he ran a very, very good fourth in Listowel last time out, when I suppose just jumping caught him off a little off guard, I think he's going to be more suited to the hurdles now. He should be well above his mark, which definitely suggests it. The fact that Conor Orr takes another £5 off definitely suggests big things are going to come in. Cork is definitely going to suit him tomorrow. He's won around Cork over hurdles in good ground over this course and distance. I think that's his only win actually over hurdles, so that's a massive positive. And yeah, I think this What's Your Status, it's a bit of an insult to him. The fact that he's 5-1, there's worse horses ahead of him that are, I suppose, shorter in the price, but I definitely think this Smith's Corner is definitely going to be a very, very good horse, and will be definitely well suited to the race tomorrow. The 352, another each way shout here now. We're going to go with Shedding at 5-1. Jordan Canavan takes the ride. I know previously I said that Shedding, Darrell O'Keefe was on that day. I thought, I didn't hear anything from Jordan, but I thought that whether the owner or the trainer jocked him off because of his unfortunate mistake around Clonmel. But what I didn't know is he was actually serving a 2-day ban for breach of the whip rule. So It's good to see Jordan back on board. He definitely knows the horse well. I think the ground is definitely going to suit him here now tomorrow. He's run some very, very credible races. An awful lot of this field in here, they have finished behind Shedding in the past. And yeah, Shedding is definitely coming in here. Not in a hell of a, I suppose, too hard of a weight, but I suppose, look at the fact that he's 5-1, he's definitely well worth in each way. But I don't know, I think Shedding will have to uh, have a very good horse here tomorrow to stop him, and I don't think there is, to be quite honest. I think 5-1 is a brilliant, brilliant price. The 427. Actually, no. Before we go, I may as well wish Jordan the very best of luck. I know he's probably watching in. I forgot to mention, he's a couple of rides out tomorrow, but I definitely think, I think he's riding Finding Joy in What's Your Status as a race. But like I said, What's Your Status is going to be my next best, and I definitely think he'll have to have a rocket stashed away somewhere to try and catch this What's Your Status. But Shedding definitely looks to be a better opportunity for him. The 427 now, moving on, we may as well go with Cocoa Beach here, and I suppose pick the only odds on horse of the day. Really and truly, it's a 141 rated hurdler going into chasing in a yard that's proven to have very, very decent chasers. I honestly can't see this horse being beaten tomorrow. Really and truly, he should lead this field on a merry dance. The Mouse Morris horse, Foxy Jacks, looks to be his main danger, in my opinion. I would think that he is going to put up a pretty decent battle, and I suppose will put in a very good run, maybe in second, but I can't see him laying a glove on this Cocoa Beach. At the end of the day, it looks to be, I suppose, definitely, I suppose, a shoe-in at the end of the day, an 8-13. I know it's a short price, but I don't think you can go too far wrong. There's an awful lot of, I suppose, horses that go off at much shorter odds that don't turn up, but I think it can be nearly guaranteed that this Cocoa Beach is going to turn up here now tomorrow. 5 o'clock, nap of the day, Abbey Magic at 11-4. This one here, I am 100% confident in, to be quite honest with you. It was very much prolific 2 years ago, and I suppose it was a little bit unfancied when running in Kilbeggan on his debut, I suppose, for the season, but it ran a very, very credible race. It set off at a very brisk pace from the front, and it only, I suppose, was chinned, I suppose, on the line. Vizio Man actually got up, the stablemate. It was a well-timed run. I suppose a little bit too well-timed, if I must say so, considering I was on Abbey Magic. But yeah, I'm going to put my faith in this mare now again tomorrow. I think Abbey Magic has the race to lose. She's definitely a very good jumper. She looks to be made for chasing. She looks the real deal at the end of the day. Vizio Man has since gone on to win a very, very good chase in, I think it was Punchestown last time out. It was Punchestown, and it ran, I suppose it actually won very convincingly that day as well. Look at the end of the day, it's definitely this horse's race to lose. Like, I can't see anything in the firing line that's even going to trouble it at the end of the day. And there's an awful lot of these horses that have serious question marks over their heads. Abbey Magic has little or nothing to prove to anyone. I think at the end of the day, she should absolutely hose up again now tomorrow, and the fact that she's race fit now again is definitely a very, very good sign. I think that this mare can go a long, long way this season. Final race of the day then, the 5:30, we're going to go with Cost a Lot More at 5-2. Cast your minds back to the List Old Harvest Racing Festival. I don't think I can say any more really at the end of the day. That race was, I suppose, a very strange one. But this horse set a very, very brisk pace out in front. I think it went a furlong or a furlong and a half clear. Coming in, I think, with about a mile to go. So there was nothing really to challenge it, but at the same time, it was very much hard held, and there wasn't really any strain put in the horse when most of the field and all of the field in behind were uh, pushed out to the very limits at the end of the day. This horse looks to be an absolute machine. Um, on Eagle's Wings is the favourite here, and personally speaking, it definitely looks to be a fairly exciting bumper horse, but it only beat Statler last time out, and Statler in general, I suppose, hasn't really done it for me. Um, I definitely think that the form of the race is with Cost a lot more with Jack Hackett. I think it was second behind Jack Hackett the on one of his bumper runs, or it could even be a point to point run. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I know Jack Hackett. Look at all you have to do is look up his form. He's been very prolific over hurdles, over fences. He's definitely one of the horses to follow this season, and I definitely think Cost a lot more at 5-2 is, I suppose, going to be very, I suppose, very much one to follow at the end of the day. What I'm trying to say, um, I think it's great value compared to on Eagle's Wings at 6-4. I think it's a no brainer at the end of the day. Obviously, look at your sort of, I suppose, weighing it all up, and there definitely has to be a few doubts in your head, but I don't know. I think this was no fluke, and I think this Costs a Lot More is definitely going to be a very, very exciting sort for the coming year. But I'm going to leave it there. That's all the racing for tomorrow. I know there's only one odds on horse of the day, but the rest of them are all brilliant, brilliant value. Hopefully, with the help of God, we'll be banging out the winners left, right, and centre tomorrow. I'm definitely praying that we will be. Please make sure to keep liking, sharing, and subscribing. I suppose follow the Facebook page, the Peaky Blogger hyphen Horse Racing Blogger, Twitter at Peaky Horse, and if you're not, I suppose, subscribe to the YouTube channel, please do so. It helps me out an awful lot, and it only takes a second of your time as well. Look, I'm going to leave it there. The very best of luck tomorrow. I won't actually be on, say, doing tips for Goran Park tomorrow. I will say this because considering it's a flat meeting, I will be in fact taking this back and I suppose doing another, I think, 4 races for the Cheltenham Festival, and just, I suppose, putting in our early predictions already. Other than that, I can't really say anymore. The very best of luck tomorrow, and if you're having a bet, I hope it comes in.